guys, we did it. Holy crap, we actually did it. 1,000 subs. Doot, 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 doot. Woohoo! Da-da-ba-ba-ba-cha-da-da. Yeah! Now, for some reason, you guys like my stuff, and I think that's just fantastic. You poor misguided souls. But thank you so much for your wonderful support. I know I've only been on YouTube for a few months now, but I'm really excited to see where this can go. It's gonna be one heck of a ride, so please stay tuned. I do still plan on expanding the channel, but with work and school, some of my other video ideas are probably gonna be put on hold for a little while until I have enough time to get them done. That being said, I will continue to upload 4 beginners videos consistently. So promote my channel, you nerd. I work hard on these. But anyway, let's take things a little slow. Music? I said music! Okay, that's better. You know, nobody's perfect. And sometimes people make mistakes. And in my case, I do that often. But when I record for a video, I don't do everything in one take. Oh God, no. There are mess-ups. A lot of mess-ups. And today, I'd like to present to you, my wonderful fans, the many outtakes of the 4 beginners voiceovers. Enjoy! Testing the levels, how do you do? Testing the levels. I'm pretty good. Surprisingly. Okay, let's try this again. Wee-ha, wada 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 wah. It's here! It's here! No, let's have something else. And with the ooh. Amongst all the chaos, Titus gets sucked into this portal thing and is sent to a giant place. Oh my God, I'm adding words. And there are some very touching. Of course, there are twists and turns and a person that just won't die no matter how many. And I wish I could go over all the extra details in the combat. Will people just stop making noise? Is Switch Yuna's Aeon animation entering animation? Is Switch Yuna's Aeon entering? Cool. Okay. Let's breathe. Taking a break, there's a car. Pay no attention to moi. When the game went all fast-paced and hack and slashy, a dev team best known for making fantastic, crazy, over-the-top, butt close-up action-packed games. I feel like I'm peeking. No, I'm not. But one day while I can't talk, oh my God. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Now, the game is supposed to take place after Metal Gear Solid 4. What's going on? How do you doodly 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 do? So, some will argue that part of... I'm gonna throw up or something, oh my God. And it's one of those games where there's no shame in looking up help on... Let's talk about the story. I need people to read. Whoop. Of course, if you manage to... So, the big question on everyone's mind is, what makes Dark Souls sauce? So, venturing into what kind of mic is this? I better not be recording this in the wrong thing. No. So, the elder... Off to a great start here, okay. I should make an outtake thing one day. This could be hell. So, it quickly grew into a game basically everyone has and can get into. That didn't sound good. But anyway, whoa! Okay. But anyway, if you're new to this game here... Oh my God, that's so cute. Okay, still here. But anyway, as you explore Skyrim, you'll gradually Gwane. Or you could be a huge dork and read certain books that increase your skills. I think I got it earlier. Oh, this is gonna take a while. Okay, forgive me. Also, it would help if I could see. Crank up that brightness, yo. Nothing. So the world levels up with... Oh my God. There it is again. I'm gonna die out here, aren't I? How diddly do, self? You're doing okay? You doing good? You're going to jeez. Oh God, this is gonna be a weird time. Okay. And that concludes this Nobody's Perfect segment with SuperButterBuns. Moving on though, to celebrate 1,000 subs, I asked people on Twitter, which you should totally follow me on guys, to send in questions for Le Bon. So let's dive in then, shall we? How were you introduced to video games? Well, I first discovered video games when I was around 4 years old because when I was younger, I would hang around my godmother's house and she had a PlayStation 1. And I played some really crappy snowboarding game, but I really liked it because, you know, colors. And I was so immersed in the PlayStation that I told my dad about it, and I wouldn't shut up about it. And he was like, well, we'll go get one for ourselves so we can have one at home. And around that time, the PlayStation 2 had come out. So we just got the PS2 instead. So my first console was the PlayStation 2, and I was basically raised on that console. Although I was really young, I really didn't know much about games. I just, you know, flashing lights, buttons, whatever. So, you know, I really didn't understand how they worked until like much later when I was older. But, you know, young age, I basically grew up with them. They were my entire childhood. What gave you the idea for the Video Games for Beginners series? Well, because I grew up with games, they were basically my entire life, and I would constantly talk about them with my friends, but most of my friends weren't gamers, and they still aren't. So I would try to tell them about these things, and just, it wouldn't connect. They didn't know anything about video games. I tried to make them play games, and they weren't particularly good at them, because they didn't know where to start, because they didn't grow up with them like I did. So then I would try to find things on YouTube, like, you know, easy guides for people who've never played certain things before, but the only time I could find a guide was for games that were like super difficult, like Dark Souls and super tactical games, you know, things that are really complicated, stuff beginners wouldn't be playing anyway. And I noticed no one was really making consistent beginner's guides for video games. I mean, most games really don't need beginner's guides because they're relatively self-explanatory, but for people who've never played a game before, you can kind of be left in the dark. And I'd always wanted to make a YouTube channel for a while, but I wasn't really sure what to focus on. So it kind of just hit me one day. I thought I would just make guides for people who've never played games before because basically everyone I know has never played games before. Are you gonna show us the face behind the bun? Maybe. Don't get me wrong, there is a face, and I'm not exactly shy, but I do kind of want to keep my face a mystery for a little while. I will reveal it someday, maybe when I have a lot more subscribers, but for now, I just kind of want to keep it a little secret. Keep a little mystery to the bun, you know? Although, I really do look like this bun. You got the weird hair, you got the hazel eyes, you got the mean look. That's what I look like in real life, guys. No joke. I mean, trust me, if you ever saw me in person, you'd know. Oh, you'd know, especially if I started talking. What editing software do you use? Well, I am signed up with the Adobe Creative Cloud, so I do all of my editing on Premiere Pro CC. I do use Audition to record all of my audio, and occasionally I might edit something in there, but for the most part, I do all of my stuff in Premiere because it can handle basically anything I throw at that. Have you watched the animated versions of Persona 4? Yes, I have. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good, although I was kind of annoyed by how most of the episodes are basically filler, but being a Persona fan, I enjoyed it. I don't think it messed up the game at all. I thought it was pretty unique how they incorporated the dungeons and stuff like that, and gave a lot of the characters a little more oomph, if you know what I'm saying. Favorite video game of all time? Alternatively, favorite video game character of all time? How buttered is your bun? Well, I'd have to say my favorite video game of all time is Kingdom Hearts 1 because I got that game when it came out and I grew up with that game and it's so good, you guys. Kingdom Hearts is just the best. And favorite video game character is probably gonna have to be Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII because I like the color red and Vincent's he's just cool. He's a cool dude. I like him. And I have the butteriest buns around. Favorite franchise? Ever played No More Heroes or Infamous? And if you could have any fictional weapon, what would it be? Well, my favorite video game franchise has to be undoubtedly Kingdom Hearts, because, you know, it's Kingdom Hearts. I love it. It's fantastic. You should get it. And I have played Infamous 1, and I do own Infamous 2, although I haven't touched it yet, and I've never played No More Heroes, although I did recently get a Wii, so I might pick it up eventually. And fictional weapon-wise, I'd probably go with the Oblivion Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. Or Marluxia's Scythe, because I think that thing's really cool. What is your top 10 game list? Man, I got a lot of favorite games, but here's a list of the games I think that are really the bee's knees. Are you ever gonna play games with fans or something like that? Cause that would be awesome. Now, I have played with some of you before, and I've tried to play with some of you before. And I'm totally down with playing with a bunch of you in the future. But I don't exactly play or own many multiplayer games. But for the sake of the channel, I am willing to try out different games and multiplayer, and I'd love to have a bunch of you join me sometime. Are half of these questions just gonna be you gushing over Kingdom Hearts? Maybe. I mean, what can I say? Kingdom Hearts is a great series. Also nostalgia. A lot of nostalgia. Why do they release so many crucial games on different platforms? Future how-to videos? Future different ButterBuns cosplays? Like I said, I do plan on expanding the channel eventually once I have time. And I do have a bunch of ideas that I'd definitely like to try out in the future. But don't worry, stuff is coming, it's just a matter of time. And I do plan on making a bunch more buns for different videos, but I'm not exactly an artist, so it kinda takes a little while. Most memorable video game experience? Well, surprise, surprise, it's another Kingdom Hearts thing. But I remember when I had first beaten Kingdom Hearts 1, it had taken me so long to get to that point. I had worked up so hard. It was the only game I had played at that point. And I remember at the exact time when I killed Ansem, and I remember the exact time too, at 11:48 at night, I had beaten the game, and I started screaming and crying, and I ran into my parents' bedroom, and I started yelling, I did it, I won, and then I ran back into my room, stared at my TV, and was bawling my eyes out because I was so overwhelmed, because the game had challenged me so much because I was young, I wasn't very good at games at that point, and man, it was just so great. I had never had such a greater sense of accomplishment. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Do you play any MMORPGs? I'm not super big into MMORPGs, although I have tried some in the past. I tried Star Wars The Old Republic for a little while. I didn't pay for the subscription because it was free to play, but I did enjoy it. I liked the story. I liked what BioWare did with it, you know, with the whole everything's got a cutscene, and I'm big on story. But just for the combat and the grinding aspect, I'm not super big on it, and yeah, I know MMOs are kind of all that. So I kind of gave up on it, but right now I am playing Guild Wars 2, and I like it. I'm not good at it, but I like it, and I feel like it's something I could get into. I just need a little more time to get used to the whole grinding, combat, clicking thing. White or wheat? White. Why would you choose anything else? Wheat is terrible, dear God. If you could design a game, what would it be like? Well, for one, it'd be extremely story heavy and kind of more Final Fantasy-esque, not really. I'm really big into action RPGs. They are my favorite genre of games, so something with really active combat and a strong narrative and just, I don't know. Man, I'm just a talking piece of bread on the internet. What do I know about game design? Well, that about sums it up. Thank you all once again for supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. My goal is to have 10,000 subs by the end of the year. A little ambitious, but I know with you guys' help, I'll definitely be able to make it. So please, spread the bun. Every view and sub helps. And speaking of help, you can now donate to the SuperButterBuns System and Games Fund, so I can cover more games, because as of now, I've received a lot of game suggestions. But sadly, I don't have the money to afford all of the games and the systems they're on. So please send some love in the form of money by clicking on the donation link in the description below, and giving a little something something so I can give a little something back. And if you want to keep up to date on what's going to happen next, or just want to talk to me, go follow me on Twitter. And please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day.